Hi guys, so on this sheet we're going to practice getting values using colored pencils. First thing I want you to do is make sure you write your name on the top of the paper. Instructions say, use your colored pencils to practice coloring from light to dark, using the strength of your hand and your arm. Press gently on the side of the picture with the smaller, weaker animal. Gradually press harder as you approach the larger, stronger animal. So you can see the first example goes from mouse all the way to elephant. We've got our light value here and it goes all the way to our darker value. Then using whatever color you want in colored pencil, you're going to work from that lighter animal to the darker animal, filling in that pencil. So using the side of it, I like to work really, really lightly, thinking about how hard I'm pressing with my hand. And as you get closer to the stronger animal, you're going to start to press harder. So I'm pressing harder and harder and harder. What you shouldn't really want to do is press straight down with your pencil. You really want to start to layer in that color to make it darker. So I'm going to go over this a few times and getting my darkest value here. And you can see I'm really pushing down on that pencil. It's always easier to make something darker, but you can't always make something lighter. So if I push too hard here, there's no way I can erase that colored pencil. So you can see how my value ranges from light to dark. Then pick another color and try it again. From inchworm to the rattlesnake, working really, really lightly to start, and then slowly, gradually pushing harder and harder and harder to get that dark, dark value. And there's our pencil pressure practice. On the back of that sheet of paper, you'll see a sheet of paper that looks like this. First, I want you to write your name. The instructions say, use the following worksheet to plan out your color scheme. Choose the colors for a range of values and color in the value scale below using the medium of your choice. Use a monochromatic or multicolor scheme. For example, a multicolor scheme may be white, light pink, baby blue, pink, teal, red, burgundy, black. And a monochromatic color scheme will be various shades of blue. Check to make sure your colors are light, medium, dark in terms of value. So for this one, we are going to stick with the monochromatic color scheme. So pick one color to work with. So using that one color, you're going to work light to dark or dark to light. So I'm going to start layering in that color, working from the dark end first, just because that's the way I like to do it. Keep in mind you can always make these darker, and I'm thinking about my pencil pressure, how light or how hard I'm pushing with my fingers. So I know that this one right here is the lightest, so I am barely touching the paper when I do that lighter value. And I'm kind of matching to the one above it. Remember, layer in that color. Something I also like to do when I think I'm pretty close to done is I like to squint at it with my eyes and see if any of the values are too close to each other. So I think that these ones are very similar. So I'm just going to add a little bit more of a layer just to change this one up from this one. Perfect. And there is our value scales. This scale will help you in our next step where we make our value abstract drawings. So after practicing value, we are going to also create value in an abstract drawing using colored pencils. So what I want to do first is I want to have my name on the paper, and I want to flip it over. We're going to work in pencil first just so we can get our sketchy design on here first, and then we're going to trace in Sharpie. So what we want to do is a continuous line where we don't pick up our pencil in a swirly loopy design that you like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work really big and really slowly to create this loopy design. And we also have some overlapping happening. And I'm filling up the entire page. And I'm going to come all the way around and connect where I started and where I ended. Next, what I want to do is I want to trace those lines in Sharpie. Going really, really slow to make sure I don't go outside of those pencil marks. Perfect. If you accidentally did go outside of your pencil marks in your table caddy, there's a big ginormous eraser. Go ahead and erase those pencil marks. We don't want those to be on our final paper. So colored pencils work very similar to the way a regular pencil would work. You just can't erase them. So creating value, what we're going to do is we're going to do a different color or different color combination in each different area that you see. Do not worry about the background quite yet, but what I want you to think about first is all of these little shapes that you see inside of here. Also, with our colored pencils, we don't want to put these in the mechanical sharpener. We want to sharpen them by hand. So if your pencil gets a little dull, you can use the hand sharpener right on your table. So I'm going to start with green first. Keep in mind how hard you press is going to determine how dark your value is. So if you're pressing hard or pressing light, think about that pressure. I'd like a pretty big range of value in each of these shapes. So on this side, I'm going to do a darker value by pushing a little bit harder. And on this side over here, I'm going to leave it at that light value. Another trick too to make colors darker is you want to use their complementary color, which is the color that is on the opposite side of the color wheel. So I know that green's complement is red. So I'm going to take this, this red and I'm going to layer that on the opposite side. Actually, I'm going to layer that on the darker side to make that green look darker. The tricks with colors, so use its complement. So there's my first section. I'm going to continue the rest, but I'm going to let the video fast forward so you can see what the end result looks like. Another trick too is you can always use black to make a color darker, so you can layer that black right in to make a different darker value. A trick too is you can always make colors darker, but you can't always make colors lighter. So keep that in mind with your pencil pressure. If I were to draw this green in, and I went too dark, there's no real way to get that colored pencil to go back lighter, so you can only go darker. Perfect, so all my inner circles are now filled in with all of our value. For the outside, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick one color and I'm gonna really fill in the outside and then these middle spaces in between. Perfect, so my light value is in. I'm gonna pick a few spots to add darker value. So I'm going to go right here, just because I think it'll look nice against that Sharpie mark. Perfect, so you'll see I have some white spots. White is the lightest value that you could possibly have. So I'm going to actually leave some of these white. A few of these little circle spots, just as a finishing detail, I'm going to add in some color because I feel like there's too much white right here. So I'm going to just touch up some spots. Perfect, and that's all set. So it's very abstract. It has a lot of value, a lot of layers of colors, and here's my finished product.